I'm Jay Lenora Bressler, and welcome to the October 2nd, 2017 edition of the Bible Delight in the Details, as we continue our look at overlooked details of the Exodus narrative. We're still in Exodus 14, and this is our last session on the parting of the Red Sea. Last time we talked about that the parting of the Red Sea should be seen not just as a historic event, which it most certainly was, but also as a precursor, an object lesson, if you will, a harbinger of the spiritual reality to come. Jesus, we are told in the New Testament, is like the new Moses. Moses was a shadow of one aspect of what Jesus Christ was going to do. In the case of Moses, he delivered the Israelites from the hand of slavery in Egypt into the promised land. Here, Jesus, in spiritual terms, is delivering us from the slavery into sin, represented by Egypt. And we talked last time that the parting of the Red Sea, the sea was seen as evil, as the world. Nothing good ever comes out of the sea in the Bible, particularly in Revelation. And so it shows how, in order to save us and get us to the glorification of the promised land, or in our case, heaven, the Lord has to literally hold back the sin and the world so that we can pass through it, which shows you that we are in the world, but not of the world, if we are Christians on the way to glory. But I want to pick up on one more detail. When God was explaining to Moses what exactly he was supposed to do to get the waters to part, he was very specific, and it's fascinating when you think about what he told him to do in terms of the fact that Moses is a precursor of Christ. He told Moses that he was to hold high his staff. That's the shepherd's staff, of course, would have been made out of wood. He was to hold high the staff, his staff, and he was to stretch forth his hand. It gives me kind of goosebumps to tell you this, but even to say this, but that's exactly what Christ did on the cross. Christ lifted up the cross. We are told in the New Testament that Christ said that all men would come to him. If he be lifted up, all men would come to him. He was talking about being lifted up on the wood of a cross. And when you think about it, a shepherd's staff is very much like that. You're carrying your shepherd's staff, and then pretty soon, what are you doing? Carrying the cross. And then literally Christ on the cross stretched out his hands. And that was what made the way for us to walk through the sea of sin and this world on dry and firm foundation ground as we journey into the promised land. Wow, what an overwhelming picture. What an overwhelming object lesson God has given us all the way back to Moses into what his son would eventually do for us. It's a beautiful thing. And perhaps now when you think about the parting of the Red Sea, you'll think about it a little bit differently. I'm Jay Lenora Bressler. Visit me tomorrow in the next edition of Delight in the Bible. Bye-bye.